I'm Alexis, and I'll be talking about Mya Arenaria. So, Mya Arenaria scientific classifications. Its kingdom is Animalia, domain Eukaryote, phylum Mollusca, class Bivalvia, order Myodia, family Myodia, genus Mya. The species name is Mya Arenaria. Some common names of Mya Arenaria are known as the soft-shelled clam, the sand gasper, soft clam, steamer clam, and the nanny nose. Here is the kingdom graph. In the kingdom graph, we can see that Mya Arenaria is an animalia. Therefore, that means it contains all of these characteristics, such as a cell membrane, a nucleus, it's multicellular, and it's also a mouth eater. The phylum tree of Mya Arenaria. Mya Arenaria is a mollusca, which also consists of clams, snails, and octopods. As we can see here, it all starts off with an ancestral protist. Adaptations involving the reproductive system of Mya Arenaria. So, as we can see here, depending on locality and monthly tidal cycles, Mya Arenaria have different spawning periods, which means that depending on its location, Mya Arenaria have different times to breed. In European waters, they only have one spawning period during the late summer, while in other places such as the United States of America, they have two spawning events, one in the spring and one in the late summer. Another interesting adaptation is that fertilization is also external, which means that fertilization, as in the contact of the male and the female reproductive system, come into contact outside of the actual female and the male. Female soft shells also have the ability to release from 1 of 5 million eggs in its lifetime. Particularly with females, fecundity increases with size and age, which means that fertility becomes more frequent, increases as they get older and as they grow. A crucial factor in reproduction and their reproduction is temperature. Um, the optimal temperatures for them to reproduce are between 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, although their temperatures to survive are different. Digestive interesting adaptations. So, Mya Arenaria are an active suspension feeder. This means the soft-shell clam would filter organic particles and microinvertebrates such as plankton. You may be asking how? How? When the clam buries itself under a layer of silt and mud using two fused siphon tubes, they draw in the water, which then passes over the gills to be stained with microcilia. This food mucus mixture is then passed along a groove above the foot of the pair of muscles, known as the palps, which then forces the material into the mouth. Then water is forced back out through the siphon. In a day, the average adult soft-shell clam can filter about 15 liters of water. Excessive siltation reduces feeding efficiently by clogging the gills, which mean that as they get more sand or silt, it can have the ability to clog up their gills, therefore obstructing digestion. Here's an anatomy of Mya Arenaria. As we can see here, here are the palps, which is the muscle, the foot, the gills. Its mouth is right here, stomach. We also see the exhale siphon and the inhale siphon. In this two illustrations, there is also the anatomy of it. As we can see, the two siphons, the gills, stomach, and also the foot, as well as the muscle, which is the palps. Some interesting adaptations are for the homeostasis is that Mya Arenaria is a suspension feeder, which means that it filters and cleans water. It also has the two fused brown siphons that are able to filter water and are located at the posterior end. The soft-shell clams can tolerate low salinities and rapid salinity changes, which then allows them to thrive in upper and lower estuaries. Another adaptation is that it can survive between -2 degrees Celsius to 28 degrees Celsius, although its optimal temperatures are between 6 to 14 degrees Celsius. Some unique, interesting adaptations are that the soft-shell clam is very tolerant to anaerobic environments and can survive in an oxygen-depleted environment for up to 8 days. Another interesting adaptation is that the eggs and larval stages can be transported and ballast to ships, which is actually a very crucial element when we talk about their global distribution. As a suspension feeder, the soft-shell clams play a crucial role in filtering and cleaning water sources, and can be used as a tool in regulating and enforcing pollution standards in the water quality control. Worldwide distribution, global distribution. So the local habitat of Mya Arenaria is that they burrow in sandy or muddy bottoms of bay and estuaries. They are found most abundantly in mud flats, mud or sand flats, or even sand flats, which reach a depth of 10 meters. They are found where there are tides so they can receive food and oxygen, and also these tides are able to carry away their waste, but they aren't found in surf zones because of turbulent waters, which are too much for them to handle. Some niches of the Mya Arenaria are that it's due to its heavy shell, soft muddy bottoms cannot support the weight of the clam. The foot is also a relatively small and only serves as an anchor during burrowing. As we can see back here, the foot is therefore their anchor. Global distribution. They are native to North America, East Coast, to the North American East Coast, although they can be found in various places around the world. So they have also been introduced to the west coast of the United States via the ship ballast waters, which was a crucial character to their global distribution. They were unintentionally introduced when transporting stocks of Crassostrea virginica, which are most commonly known as American oysters, to the west coast of the United States. There have been many parts of Europe that have reported having and containing Mya Arenaria, such as Denmark, Finland, the Baltic Sea, Norway, up to Sweden, and also Estonia. They have also been introduced to places along the Pacific coast, from Alaska to California. The food web, the Mya Arenaria food web. As we can see here, Mya Arenaria is caught in the middle of its food web. That means that it consumes organic debris such as bacterial and dead plants, phytoplankton, and zooplankton. But it can also be known as food for western sandpipes and salmon-planted flowers, starry flounder, the humans, scotted squaps and scallops, and also for skates. Fossils of Mya Arenaria, which was a common fossil found in the Prescomscot Formation. The fossils can be dated to be over 12,000 years old, despite them having the features of modern shells. They have also been present in Nordic seas for more than 500 years, and they must be completely neutralized, therefore concluding to be difficult to identify its form. Fossils in Prescomscot Formation are created due to the weight of continental glaciers that have covered Maine during the last ice age. The weight of these glaciers depressed the land surface below the sea level, which means that from the sea level the glaciers came in, and as they changed from a solid to a liquid form, the sea water then flooded Maine's coast. Fine silt and clay washed out from the glaciers and covered the seafloor to create a layer of glacial marine mud, which was known as the Prescomscot Formation. The variety of marine organisms that died living in these coastal areas can be found preserved due to the way the glacier was able to preserve it, along with the fine silt and clay that have covered one from the other. Where did you find it? The fossils of Mya Arenaria were preserved and found in the coastal Maine, and also in the Nordic seas. How do you get it? As I mentioned before, the organisms that die in the coastal waters are buried by deposits of clay. As more clay sometimes begins to pile up throughout the centuries, the bone structures of the marine organisms are sometimes preserved. These preservations are known as fossils. Later, as land surface is rebound and the ocean water recede, the large area of clay are left behind above the sea levels. Here is an example of the fossil, which is measured 1 inch. Here are also a couple more examples. The fossil record. As in the previous two slides, I will be explaining the record and how they were founded. In the first image, the fossil of Mya Arenaria has been founded in the coastal area of Maine. after the glacial waters finally receded to expose the coastal lands, thus exposing many fossils, such as Mya Arenaria. In this fossil, we can measure how long Mya Arenaria was in inches, and also physical description of the fossil itself. As you can see here, its measurement and also how it looks. In the second fossil illustration, Mya Arenaria is being able to be observed and viewed by different positions, angles, sides, and area. We are able to view the exterior and interior views as well as fragmentation and abrasions. There are also traces of abraded balenid basal plates, bioerosion through faro zones, and a chipped valve rim. As you can see here, we have a posterior, interior, we have the abrasions, fragmentations, the chip of the rim, the valve rim, and these are just examples of how Mya Arenaria has been founded. And this is my bibliography. Thank you.